everybody, this is Francesca from Fattoria di Montemaggio. Welcome back to our YouTube channel and welcome to this new video. Today we're going to discuss the wine aromas. We always give so much space, of course, to the topic of the glass reading, to the topic of, the lettura del vino, as we say in Italiano. We want to learn to read a glass of wine like a page of a book, but we never give too much, space, at least in my opinion, in our opinion, to the topic that is related only with the wine aromas. So today we're going to dive into that specific topic and we're going to learn something more together. Let's dive into it. Wine aroma is a subject that is of a fundamental importance when it comes about the word of wine, and in particular when it comes about the word of wine tasting, the word of glass reading. But most of the people think it's too difficult to understand, a little bit better what kind of aroma we can catch from a glass of wine. But in reality, it's actually very simple if you pay a little bit of attention. So today we're going to learn together how to recognize the different kind of aromas and the different kind of aromatic families. Being able to olfactory examine a wine is the most important examination. Also, you need to know that human olfactory is 25,000 more sensitive than the taste. Moreover, whereas the taste is based on the four main sensations, our nose is capable of distinguish more than 400,000 odors. But of course, when we don't know what we are looking for, of course, it would be super difficult. So today we're going to simplify this argument and we're going to try to have some kind of like guideline to understand a little bit better what we can perceive in our glass of wine. The perception of smell during tasting takes place at the top of the nasal cavity during the inhalation phase, or when the wine is kept in the mouth and of course getting warmer, it goes back to the nasal cavity. Aromas and smells exist due to the chemical compounds, to other substances of many nature that are present in the wine, which are classified by analogy and association with natural odors that we already know. That's the reason why we always say it's something so personal, and it's also related with our personal experiences, and especially when we are beginners, it's in relation with our childhood memory. When it comes about the wine, we can divide the aromas in 7 different categories, in 7 macro categories. Let's discover them together. First of all, we have flowers: rose, violet, mugwort in red wine, or acacia and white flowers in white wines. Then we have fruits: raspberry, morello, cherry, apple, peach, strawberry. These are just, of course, the common aromas released by wine, especially when they are young. Dry fruits are, of course, usually released by much more older kind of wines. You have dry figs, almond, walnut, gem. When it comes about herbs and woods, the most common ones that are found in a glass of wines are, of course, fern, underbrush, pine, resin, tobacco, and wood. When it comes about roasting, we can find aromas of toasted bread, coffee, cocoa, and also the kind of typical smoke that it could be found in those wines that are aged for longer time in French oak barrique. We have also the category of aromatic herbs: anise, bay leaf, clove. And then we have animals, aromas like leather, musk, or fur. When it comes about those kind of wines that are at the end of their life, right? They arrive at the last stage of life. So now the big question is where those aromas come from. The origin of those odors can be found in the grapes variety, in the fermentation moment, in the aging process. Actually, we can also say that the aromas that we can find in the word of wine can be also divided in 3 huge macro categories, such as primary notes, which depends on the grape variety, secondary notes, which depends on the fermentation moment, and tertiary notes, which depends on the aging process, both in the wood, both into the glass, into the bottle. What we call in Italiano affinamento in bottiglia, which is a process that we do to create much more finesse of the wine, let's say. Anyway, primary notes are related with the grape variety, and those kind of aromas are described often like fruity notes. Of course, those kind of aromas are much more pronounced in a very young wine, or when you, of course, have aromatic grapes. Actually, we can divide the word of grapes in three families. Aromatic grapes, such as Muscat, Aleatico, Malvasia. We have the semi-aromatic, such as Glera, which is a typical grapes that it's used for Prosecco, just to mention this. And then we have also the neutral, like Sangiovese. Of course, aromatic grapes, if you smell the actual grape, you will perceive some of the aromas that you're going to perceive in your glass of wine. With the neutral, you're not going to perceive anything. But anyway, when you have, of course, aromatic grapes in your glass of wine, there will be a lot of primary notes. And also when you have a very young wine. This does not mean that in an older wine you're not going to have primary notes. But anyway, those kind of wines that are a little bit older present usually the primary notes that are a little bit much more mature, maybe dried fruit on the spirits, and etc. And in general, the aromatic layer, if we want to say so, of course, it will be way more important. The bouquet will be way more complex. Secondary notes are, of course, those kind of aromas that depends on the fermentation moment, and those kind of aromas are usually also present in a young wine, but they are not that clear. They're not that perceivable. It will be not that easy to perceive those kind of aromas because a young wine is super chaotic. So this is something that is super normal, and of course, with the aging process, the wine will become more, balanced, more easy also to understand, and that's the beauty of the aging process. The tertiary notes are those kind of notes that belong to the aging process, and those kind of aromas are usually described with descriptors such as woody notes, spicy notes, and also animals aromas that we mentioned earlier in this video. In wine tasting, the olfactory bouquet of a wine is examined according to 5 characteristics. By the way, I will leave you the descriptors for each characteristic in the description, so you will be able to understand a little bit better how to evaluate a wine and then how to describe it. We have finesse, we have intensity, we have harmony, we have cleanness, and we have duration. So we are at the end of this small journey in the world of wine aromas. I hope you like this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Remember that we are going to leave in the description the descriptors for the 5 characteristics of wine to help you to examine it a little bit better, the olfactory bouquet of a wine. Don't forget also to follow us on the social media. We're a little bit everywhere, so it's super easy to find us and also to communicate with us. So if you have any type of necessity, question or comment or suggestion as well, don't forget that you can contact us in a very easy way. We are always so happy to communicate with all of you. Thank you so much and see you next time. Ciao!